I'm Janelle Sultan-Holtmeyer, Associate Editor of Modern Distribution Management. And today I'm talking with Ted Stark, President of Dalco Enterprises, a distributor of facility maintenance solutions. Hi, Ted. How are you today?
Hi, Janelle. Doing great.
So how has business been? Are there any areas where you're seeing challenges or strengths still?
Well, overall, I'd call it fairly steady. We're seeing moderate growth for 2013 right now in top-line sales and a little bit less in gross profit and gross margins. As we have been for several years, we're still seeing some margin compression due primarily to competition, and I guess that ties into the second part of your question, particular challenges. It is a very competitive environment, and especially in what we call the commodity areas. For us, that would be towel and tissue and plastic products, can liners have become very price competitive.
So what's the outlook for 2014?
For 2014 in our industry, I'll refer to the jansan industry in particular, or facility supply or maintenance solutions is the other term that we've been using. I don't know that I see a lot of real growth for 2014. I think it's still going to be pretty flat in terms of that industry. Any growth that companies have is probably going to come at the expense of competition. Most of our customers are still have very tight budgets. They're looking for ways to cut costs and reduce usage of products and be more efficient in their maintenance processes.
You're talking a lot about competition here, and we've been hearing a lot more about competition from big box competitors. What have you seen in this area? Where is this pressure coming from?
Yeah, we're seeing that. There's a couple in particular that have entered our space, the facility supply space or janitorial space. And I think it's a result of them wanting to expand their bundle, and because there's not a lot of growth in other areas, most specifically office supplies, companies that have been in that industry are looking to expand and grow, and they see opportunities in facility supplies, so they're coming into what has typically been our area. So that's causing the increased competition and some new players in the last couple of years. We still have a lot of independent distributors and other types of distributors. We also compete with distributors from various industries like medical supply distributors, food service distributors, industrial supply distributors. It seems like everybody's trying to grow their bundle to be able to provide more products and more value to customers. So we start overlapping more and more. I guess that's good for the customer. They have more choices, and it is with increased competition, it tends to drive prices down. So it's good for the customers, but it creates a lot of challenges for the distributors. You had specifically asked about some big box competitors, and we are seeing that, I believe, for the reasons we just mentioned. They're trying to expand their product offerings and do more for their customers.
Why do you think jansan is such a target of these types of companies?
Well, I think compared to some product lines, I'll use office supplies as the example. I think they believe that there are more attractive margins and they can be more profitable. That may or may not be the case. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. In the commodities that I had just mentioned, those profit margins are probably pretty similar to office supplies and other commoditized product lines. But there's some other products that have more specialization, maybe require more training, and there can be better profitability with some of those. I think that's probably why they're attracted to these types of supplies.
So how can distributors respond to this increased competition and stay relevant in this increasingly crowded space?
Well, one way is to certainly reduce prices and try to compete on price, but I don't think that's a real sustainable solution. What we're trying to do, and many of the other independent jansan distributors that I know, is to work with our customers and really try to provide more value to them in looking at their overall maintenance budget and operations, and not just looking at product costs, but also the cost of their labor and how equipment can help, and training of staff, and looking for other services, and as well as specialty products that might be helpful to them.
More jansan distributors seem to be getting into private label. Why is that?
One of the reasons that distributors are going to private label brands is we've got increased competition from the national brands. There really aren't any exclusive distribution arrangements anymore. And we see the national manufacturers, they're increasing their distribution. Not only have we seen them add on additional independent jansan distributors, but they're adding on the big box guys and distributors from other industries. And so what we have a real challenge with, it's really nothing new, but the retail world finally gave a name to it. We've been dealing with showrooming for a long, long time. And showrooming for us is where we go out to a customer and we promote a product and a solution, and we demonstrate the product, and we give the customer all the information, and then they turn around and they go out and they get price quotes, including some of the big box and e-catalog guys. And they get a cheaper price after we've done all the work because distributor B doesn't have any of the sales costs involved. And so that becomes a motivator to go in private label, because if we go out and do all the sales and marketing for a Dalco product, nobody else is going to come in and show this the exact same product.
So this last question is one that we ask of all the people we feature in this segment, and that is, what keeps you awake at night? In other words, what 3 things do you think managers and executives need to be keeping front of mind right now?
Well, the first thing we really just touched on is it's really important to figure out how we create value for our customer and how we can measure and document what we do for them that really makes it real for them, above and beyond just products and product costs. So that'd be my number one thing. Secondly, looking at our own operations and making sure that we are as efficient as we can so that we can provide the best value for our customers and reduce our operating costs as well, and be profitable as well, so that we can provide jobs for employees and reinvest in the company so we can continue to grow.
Well, great. That's all the questions I have for you today, so thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Janelle. It was nice talking to you.